Gareth Southgate is an English football manager and former player. He served as manager of Middlesbrough from June 2006, until he was dismissed in October 2009. He was appointed as manager of the England under-21 team in August 2013. He won the League Cup with both Aston Villa and Middlesbrough, and captaining Crystal Palace to win the First Division Championship in 1993-94. He also reached an FA Cup and UEFA Cup final as a player, and made 57 appearances for the England national team, featuring in the 1998 FIFA World Cup and both the 1996 and 2000 European Championships. His playing career ended in May 2006 at the age of 35, and after more than 500 league appearances, he was appointed Middlesbrough manager. Club career. Crystal Palace. Born in Watford, Hertfordshire, Southgate began his career at Crystal Palace, playing in central midfield. He became captain and led the club to the 1993-94 First Division title. After the South London club's relegation from the Premier League, he moved to Aston Villa for a fee of £2.5 million, having made 152 appearances over 4 seasons. Aston Villa. At Aston Villa, he was converted into a centre-back and was part of a formidable defence. In his first season, he lifted the League Cup and Aston Villa qualified for the UEFA Cup. Southgate played in every Premier League game during the 1998-99 season. He continued to play for Villa in the 1999-2000 season as Villa reached the FA Cup final, but handed in a transfer request just before Euro 2000, claiming that, "If I'm to achieve in my career, it is time to move on." John Gregory, the then manager of Villa, attempted to keep his club captain, but after a year on the transfer list he left the club in 2001. Middlesbrough. Southgate did not sign for one of the major clubs as many predicted, but instead became Middlesbrough manager Steve McLaren's first signing for the club. This may have partially been due to the opportunity to reunite his defensive pairing with Hugo Effiok, with whom he was a centre-back at Villa. Immediately he became a firm favourite at the Riverside, winning the club's Player of the Year award in his first season after a series of assured displays while receiving no yellow cards. Southgate was appointed captain for the 2002-03 season when Paul Ince left the club, and became the first Middlesbrough captain to lift a major trophy when he helped them win the League Cup at the Millennium Stadium in February 2004. His season ended shortly after that win, when he suffered knee ligament damage. There were strong rumours that Southgate could be set for a move to Manchester United following Rio Ferdinand's ban for missing a drug test in January 2004, but it turned out to be nothing more than paper talk. He later committed his final playing years to Middlesbrough, signing until 2007. His final appearance as a professional player was in the 2006 UEFA Cup final against Sevilla, which Boro lost 4-0. He retained his playing registration during his first term as Middlesbrough manager, but did not feature either on the field or on the bench. International career. Southgate made his debut for England as a substitute against Portugal in December 1995 under the management of Terry Venables. Southgate played every minute of the matches as hosts England reached the semi-final of Euro 96, in which they faced Germany. The match was determined in a penalty shootout. Southgate's penalty was saved, and England were eliminated. The song "Southgate" by The Business is a reference to this event. Southgate managed to make light of his blunder later that year by appearing in an advert for Pizza Hut, which also featured Stuart Pearce and Chris Waddle, who had missed crucial penalties at the 1990 World Cup. Southgate also played in the 1998 World Cup and Euro 2000. He was capped 57 times for England and was disappointed not to add to the figure during the 2002 FIFA World Cup finals in Japan and South Korea. However, in the penultimate warm-up game ahead of the finals, he captained England for the second half of a 1-1 draw with South Korea. His 50th cap came in a 1-1 draw with Portugal at Villa Park in September 2002. Southgate scored twice for the England team. His first goal came on the 14th of October 1998 against Luxembourg in a Euro 2000 qualifier, his second on the 22nd of May 2003 against South Africa in a friendly. He is Aston Villa's most capped England player, having played 42 of his 57 internationals whilst with Villa. Management career. Southgate was handed his first managerial role at Middlesbrough in June 2006 after Steve McLaren had left to manage England. His appointment drew controversy as he did not have the required coaching qualifications to manage a top-flight club. He was allowed to stay on as manager, however, by the Premier League in November 2006. Middlesbrough successfully argued that, because Southgate had recently been an international player, he had no opportunity to undertake the coaching courses. He did go on to complete his coaching qualifications. In his first season in charge, Southgate guided Middlesbrough to 12th position in the Premier League. His biggest win as a manager was an 8-1 victory against Manchester City in May 2008. In December 2007, Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger suggested Southgate as one of several English managers who were all good enough to manage the national team. He faced some criticism early in the 2007-08 season after Boro had a spell in the relegation zone, but they later pulled clear of the bottom three. Southgate became the first Middlesbrough manager since Terry Venables in 2001 to win the Premier League Manager of the Month award for August 2008. In November 2008, Southgate took Middlesbrough up to 8th place after an away win against on-form Aston Villa. However, Boro would thereafter go 14 games without a win, finally defeating Liverpool at home 2-0 on the 28th of February 2009. After an away defeat against Stoke City, some of the travelling supporters were calling for his head after only achieving one win in 18 games and relegation survival looking unlikely. On the 24th of March, Chairman Steve Gibson announced that sacking Southgate would not help the situation. Middlesbrough finished in 19th position and were relegated to the Championship after a 2-1 defeat at West Ham United. Southgate said he was determined to get the club back into the Premier League, praised the supporters and said that he felt for them. On the 20th of October 2009, shortly after a 2-0 victory over Derby County, Southgate was dismissed as manager with Middlesbrough in 4th place in the Championship. The dismissal was controversial as he had taken Boro to within 1 point of the top position, but Gibson said he had made the decision weeks earlier in the best interests of the club. In August 2013, Southgate was named as manager of the England under-21 team, signing a 3-year contract. In his first game in charge, they beat Moldova 1-0 in a European Championships qualifier thanks to a goal from Saido Berahino. Southgate successfully led England to the finals of the U21 European Championship in 2015. Other roles. In 2003, Southgate and close friend and former West Ham goalkeeping coach Andy Woodman co-wrote Woody and Amp Nord, A Football Friendship. This book describes an enduring friendship forged in the Crystal Palace youth team that has survived Southgate and Woodman's wildly differing fortunes in the professional game. The book won the Sports Book of the Year award for 2004 from the National Sporting Club. In 2005, Southgate contributed a poem to the collection for children, Rory and Amp Friends. Southgate was also a co-commentator for ITV at the 2006 World Cup, covering group games alongside Clive Tyldesley. His appointment as Middlesbrough manager 2 days before the start of the tournament meant that he left Germany before the knockout phase began, with David Pleat replacing him as Tyldesley's co-commentator. He resumed a role as pundit and co-commentator after he finished his tenure at Middlesbrough in 2010, working on FA Cup and UEFA Champions League matches for ITV as well as acting as a pundit on England games. Southgate has also appeared on media outlets Sky Sports, Setanta Sports and BBC Television and Radio. In January 2011, Southgate was appointed as the FA's head of elite development, to work with Sir Trevor Brooking. He left the post in July 2012, and ruled himself out of consideration for the role of technical director, for which he had been a leading candidate. Personal life: Southgate is married to Alison. The couple have 2 children.